That's it.
Oh,
right.
sure.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Welcome to the pod.
Welcome to the pod.
2 cents for Josh and Spence. We're your hosts, Josh and
Spence.
Yes. First pod, the new episode. We've got a very, very special guest, our friend Jenessa with Down Home. Thank you so much for being with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
So, for those who don't know what Down Home is, well, first tell us about you. Tell us how you got started in Down Home and kind of a little background.
Yeah, absolutely. I was an elementary school counselor for 15 years, lived in the community for over 20 with my husband. And
What community is that?
Fargo Moorhead community. Moorhead.
Fargo.
Specifically.
To be specific, I live in Moorhead.
Sorry to hear that.
There it is. It's all right. It's all
There
right.
it is, Moorhead.
Hashtag Spud Life. Sorry to interrupt.
Just got to rub that in, right, Spence?
Oh.
Yeah.
He loves
And within that job as an elementary counselor, I started seeing some gaps, and it was children that were showing up at school, and you could tell that they weren't getting a good night's sleep, and or the family dynamics were not as solid, maybe as ones that I have experienced. And then my husband, he also worked in general maintenance work, and he would start seeing in apartments, what looks like remnants of sleeping on the floor, blankets, no mattress, maybe a pillow. And to be honest, we did not plan on anything nonprofit. We had talked about for-profit side of using our gifts and talents. None of that ever shook out. We had 4 kids in the meantime. Sure. And life just continued to happen. So we were actually at the lake one weekend, and I can't describe it any other way besides a divine calling, in that we were called to step into this gap. And we just really asked our kids this question: what makes our house a home? Mm-hmm. And by asking that question, they started saying, well, it's the table that we eat at, or the couch that we snuggle on, or the things in my bedroom that make it comfortable, that provide security. And we started by meeting with Pastor Sue at Churches United. Okay. And she said, yep, indeed, there is a gap for families that are emerging from homelessness. There are limited ways for them to make their space a home. And so with that, we knew that they needed money to be able to pay for rent. We wanted them to buy food. And yet beyond that, it was really difficult for families to decide, well, what do you purchase next? And a lot of the families that we serve, the majority of them are single moms with children on a 2nd or 3rd floor apartment. Mm-hmm. So you can just kind of see and understand the significant barriers in being able to make the space a place that you can invite friends, a place that you can find comfort and security and a nurturing space. Mm-hmm. And so we served our first family on December 23rd of 2017. And I don't know how to describe it, but it's just been on the move since then. We've served over 115 families, and truly we meet people where they're at. We enter into their space and get to know them. We go back to our warehouse, and then we get to utilize thousands of donations from generous donors and supporters in our community. And we get to coordinate these beautiful spaces and transform an empty space, like empty spaces, into beautiful, dignified homes for families that would not otherwise be able to do so for themselves.
That's very, very cool. And that to think it requires a lot of empathy, I would imagine, right? Mm-hmm. So then you put yourself in that position, mm-hmm. like, okay, I was homeless, and now I'm fortunate enough, now I have a home, mm-hmm. But I've got very limited resources. I've only got so much money, and I've got kids, and they got to eat, and we got to do this, we got to do that. Like, how do I allocate these resources? Mm-hmm. So then specifically, when you say serve, that's what you guys do. You're like, hey, don't worry about it. We collect, through donations, we collect furniture and stuff, and then help furnish a space for these people.
Truly.
Right?
Yes.
And awesome. For me, like when we first met, it's I think a lot of people don't think about what happens mm-hmm. after you're not homeless anymore. Mm-hmm. Right. And just like you said, what makes a house a home? Mm-hmm. You go stay at a hotel for a week, and it's like, oh, I just miss my bed. Yeah. Or I miss my decorations and stuff. Mm-hmm. What makes it feel like a home? So I love what you guys are doing.
Thank you.
It's very, very cool. And
yeah,
it's, I think, something that a lot of people don't think about. Mm-hmm. So
And that's something that we talk a lot about just within our business, right? Like taking action on something, right? So like you said, like God put something on your heart, right? And you could either be like, yeah, that's a good idea, but you know, I'm sure there's a lot of fear and anxiety and like, what do we do, you know? But then you took action, and you went from serving one family in 2017, you said. And what does Down Home look like today?
We have served 117 families,
Wow.
and we have 6
That's
more
awesome.
on the docket before the end of the year. Yeah, God is on the move through the volunteers, the donors, and the families that we're privileged to serve. And the beautiful thing about what we do is we truly are Down Home, meaning we strive to serve our families well. So the families, after we serve them, after we do a reveal, we still do follow-ups with them as well. And so we provide the Down Home Christmas packages that we're going to be talking about a little bit. We also partner with Sparklight, who offers a year's worth of free internet. We partner with another nonprofit who offers free photography. And so there's just this beautiful, beautiful opportunities beyond to be able to support a community for this family.
Yep.
And it seems like you got like, it's very relational versus transactional,
Yep.
right? Like it's
Indeed.
not here's your bed, now I feel better about myself. It's like, let's follow up, let's keep. That's incredible. That's very, very cool.
It's you said 117 families. That's just crazy. I mean, you wouldn't imagine that there's that many people in our area of Fargo-Moorhead that need help like that. I mean, you think of the big cities all over the country, but I mean, this people need help here in Fargo-Moorhead too. So,
And just a hand up, right? Like, okay. And that's very cool. And yeah, I don't know. I've got a lot to say, but that's just very, very, very cool. So yeah, so we got hooked up with you. So Callie on our team, and you guys hooked up, and you came in and talked to our whole team, and we were all just blown away. And at the end, we're like, okay, well, how do we help, right? So, what are kind of the big, but whether it be like big events or if somebody's out there like listening, like, okay, we want to help.
our 4 listeners who want
Yeah.
help.
All right, listen up, Mom. Listen up,
Listen
Mom.
up.
Get your pen and paper here. All right. But how can somebody get involved? How can somebody help? Like, what do you? Because there's so many people out there that I feel want to serve and want to help, and we can't. Can't help if somebody doesn't ask. One, so that's part of your job is get out there and spread the word and ask for help. But then two, we also feel that like clarity is power. So getting super clear on what it is that you need and want. So what can our moms do to help?
Yeah. Absolutely. There's a lot of different ways to get involved. One of them is to volunteer. We have different volunteer opportunities. We do meet on Wednesdays as a power team. We pray for each one of the families that we serve by name, and then afterwards we put everyone to work in the warehouse, depending on what there is to do. Yesterday we had, I believe, 6 volunteers there, and we were preparing for a move-in next week, plus accepting donations and getting those, reshelved in our warehouse in preparation to rehome them. So there's lots of ways through
So
volunteers.
is that just kind of like moving furniture and stuff, the volunteers, or?
It really is a variety.
Okay.
Yes. I mean, over time, there might be opportunities to help coordinate for a move-in, all of that. Just depends on what we have going on each week.
Okay.
We did have our Hoedown fundraiser, our 5th annual. That was a
Yes.
couple of weeks ago. We all survived that when the Lord reminds us that he doesn't call the equipped, he equips the called.
Yes, ma'am.
That's what I remind myself of as we forge forward in our major fundraiser. That was a huge success, super fun.
Awesome.
And that now we lead into preparing for Christmas, and we're excited to be able to host our 5th annual Down Home Christmas that invites all the families that we served to be able to come together. That'll happen in early December, but in the meantime, we also put together Christmas tree packages and traditions packages for the families that we've served. In the current year, they all get a Christmas tree package. So that will be the opportunity for them to experience in their new home without it being a financial barrier for them, to be able to have a new Christmas tree, lights, ornaments, and we provide a few gifts for the children as well. So we get to be a little, in the spirit of the season.
Well, and that's cool too, of being relational versus transactional. So you know these kids, so you're not going to, so you can get something pretty special for them.
Yes.
Which is sweet, which again I would imagine would just be a huge relief to these parents to be like, well, I'd love to do all this, but I've got limited resources. Like, what am I supposed to do? So that's super cool. And so, and for that too, then you guys have like, and that's something we can attach, like when we post this out, we can attach like because you got a specific like Amazon wish list, right?
Yes, like any business, whether you're for profit or not for profit, you strive to be efficient. And Amazon wish lists allow us to be efficient. And so we do put together traditions packages for all the families that we have served that will be coming to the Down Home Christmas. It is things such as a cookie making kit, cocoa mix, and a game and other items that will bring the family together. Many of our families have not experienced an upbringing that has shown them what Christmas traditions could look like. So we want to provide the opportunities for that to happen. And so the traditions package allows us to do that. So we're excited to partner with the Jaster Group in being able to provide traditions packages for the families that we've been privileged to serve.
Well, we're wildly grateful for the opportunity to partner up with you. That's incredible. And then too, another thing that we talked about partnering up on when you were here last time would be to sponsor a move.
Yeah.
What does that look like?
Yeehaw.
Let's get it. What does that look like?
If somebody else wanted to do the same thing or something similar, where can they go? How, what are they doing? And talk about that a little bit.
For sure.
We've call to action for these 4 people out there.
Listen up.
We've been blessed with a divine vision that is really efficient and intentional. And so with that process, once we've secured all the items, coordinated all the items, then we invite businesses or faith communities or families to be able to sponsor a family move-in. And then they get to be a part of the powerful process. It's so powerful and exciting to be able to truly be the hands and feet, get to load up the U-Haul and get to caravan over, and within an hour and a half, transform an empty space into a beautiful and dignified home. And then you get to be there for the reveal to the family. So it is this beautiful process that we've been able to offer to other people in the community to be a part of.
Very cool.
So where are you guys finding these families, and how are they selected?
We partner with area agencies, so we do rely on the case managers and advocates at places such as the YWCA, Churches United, Perry Center, Jeremiah Program. That list kind of is extensive at this point. They're the ones that recognize the families that fit our criteria, and the main criteria is that they're families that are really striving to stabilize within our community, that they're working hard at securing housing on their own, motivated, they have children, and really that they've secured their housing and that they are ready for, as best as you can be, right? Ready for that next stage of stability for their family.
That's awesome.
It's very, very cool. Well, that's incredible that there's people. It's a bummer that there is that need in our community that we all love so much, but it is also awesome that there are humans like you that are doing something about it and being the hands and feet, boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground.
That's so cool. So we couldn't be more grateful for the opportunity to partner up with you. So, any last? What else you got?
You got we'll put some links in the show notes, and also when we share it and stuff. But people can buy like Amazon stuff, and it'll have like what you need. Perfect. And then if they want to like donate, we can add your website and stuff, and that's where they can sign up to volunteer too, I assume. Or?
Yes, they can through our website. They can inquire about volunteer opportunities.
Perfect. Okay.
Sweet. And then too. So what we talked about and what I'd still like to do is for our squad, the Jaster Group, to sponsor a move, but then to reach out to all of our past clients and people that we know and challenge them to do the same or give them an opportunity to do the same. So basically the goal would be to just help sponsor 2 moves here. So let's make that happen.
Yep. I'm excited.
Get her done.
Get her done, baby. Let's go.
It's something I really look forward to.
Yeah, we look forward to it as well.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. This was awesome to hear about.
Yeah.
So
Thanks for having me.
yes,
You guys rock.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here, and yeah,
watch for deer.
good human. Watch for deer, Jake Bug.